Bottom line is buying land is not like buying a house. It's not even close. When you're buying a home, you can pretty much assume that the basics are covered. You've got power, water, a driveway, mailbox, all that stuff. But with land, you can't assume anything. I can't tell you how many listings I've seen where there's no legal access, maybe just a trail or a neighbor's driveway somebody's probably been using for 20 years, but that doesn't mean you can legally use that driveway. If there's no recorded easement, you might not be able to get to your own piece of property without getting sued. Access is a big deal. Then there's stuff like utilities. People say, oh yeah, there's power at the road. Okay, but how far is the road? I've seen places where running electricity costs 15, 25, $30,000. Easy. Water's the same deal. If there's no water available, now you got to drill a well, which is not cheap. That's if the ground will even take a well. So you got to do a soil test. You got to pay attention to that soil, especially if you're planning to build or put in a septic system. You better know what kind of soil you're working with, because some of these properties won't perk at all, and that changes everything. Timber is another big one. A lot of folks see woods and think, sweet, it's loaded with value. But unless you know how to evaluate the age, the species, and the quality of that timber and whether it's marketable or not, you might just be looking at a lot of trees that aren't worth much more than firewood. Same thing goes with zoning. Just because you see a cabin down the road doesn't mean that you can actually build one on your property, because you've got to check with the county. Some spots are zoned for agricultural, some are zoned residential, commercial, some are just flat out restricted. You might not be able to build or hunt or run livestock, whatever you're planning on doing on that property, if you don't know. You've got to look at the FEMA floodplain data, the drainage, how the land lays, even walk it after a hard rain if you really want to know what's going on that property. Anyway, my point is this: buying land is not just about finding a pretty view. You've got to know how to read that land. You've got to know how to read the fine print. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody off. Land is one of the best investments that you can make. But if you don't do your due diligence, it's really easy to buy the wrong piece of property and regret it later. So that's why I dig into this stuff for you guys. I dig into it with every client. I treat your money like it's my money. I want people walking away from closing day knowing they made a smart move, not just a fast move. And that's why I'm here. If you're looking at land and not sure what to watch for, hit me up. I'm glad to help you sort through it. I appreciate you guys watching.